Get your belays out and get on them climbing shoes, because today we are looking at the new release that's literally just been released of Jusant. Jusant, I think I'm saying that right. New Game Pass game, Jusant. Just basically going to review it today. So I've finished it, and I'm going to give my initial thoughts. We'll do some good, we'll do some bad, we'll do some tips, we'll do some discuss what it's all about, etc. Just like the usual cadence stuff, like we did with some of the other videos. And if you've not seen them, you can check them out as well in your leisure time. Let's go. Got some gameplay to show you at the same time, and we can talk through that too. So let's go for it. Jusant. So this game's by Don't Nod, and they are some kind of relation. I don't know if it's the full studio, but they did games called Life Strange, and essentially that's like a story-driven kind of game, and they're the ones who have done this. So Jusant is basically a climbing game, and it's a short little game, and you'll start to see some of the gameplay here, but it is all about essentially climbing to this destination. I won't give too much away because I don't want to spoil it. Essentially you are this young girl who's like coming back from like the barren desert, and I think lore-wise, what I picked up anyway, the world's basically ran out of water, and basically Jusant, the meaning here, I think it comes up here, Jusant is a French nautical term for the receding tide. So essentially I think what's happened in this world, this like post-apocalyptic world, is the tides receded and people have like moved up to like mountains and columns. Well, in this you'll see it in about 4 seconds. There's like a big massive tower column kind of thing, something you'd see like in the desert, and like, whatever. But essentially, it's all about, literally is all about climbing. There's nothing else. Now, you might be like, oh, that sounds a bit boring, but it's not. They have done this really well. So they've added a few mechanics, and they've added, the way they've done it, they've made it feel like somehow, even though I played it for a controller, they've made it really feel like you are struggling on this climb as well. And so essentially, here's the character here, look, this is who you play as. And she seems to be coming back from, like, obviously, like, exploring some kind of water. This used to be the sea, because as you can see, there's all, like, boats and stuff scattered around. But as you climb with this character, you can really feel it. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a feeling, and I don't know how they've done that. But whatever they did, fair play to you. Clap, clap, clap. That's that big tower just there on the screen if people are watching. That's basically what you're climbing. It's like a big rock pillar almost. And essentially, I'm just going to skip forward a bit to gameplay because the intro is quite long. There we go. In chapter 1. So you think, climbing is just be a bit boring. You just literally walk up the wall, or no. But what you literally have to do in this game is climb. So left triggers your left arm, right triggers your right arm. You don't have to do anything with your legs. It does that automatically. And you'll see her climbing in a sec. But it's really like intuitive. It's like, and you really have to think about it. So you really have to be like, can I reach there? Or it's a bit out of reach. So here she goes. She's climbing now. So hold left to grab, and then release, and then grab. So you're not just scaling like you would in like an Assassin's Creed kind of game, because that just goes. You can just fly up that like really quick. Like as you can see, like I'm like trying to plan my route. I mean, this is the first ever climb, so it's really easy, and it actually gets quite challenging. And you have to remember to put your like safety points in. I can't remember what they're called. You'll probably see me fail a few times on this first bit, but yeah, you have to remember to put your safety points in, otherwise you're going to fall literally all the way. You make that progression, you're going to fall all the way down. And essentially, yeah, you get to a point and then you swap where the rope is and then you start again. But also on top of that, and I'll go into this in more detail in some of the good, it's not just this basic climbing that you can see here. So there's swinging, there's abseiling, there's walking across rings, walking across the cliff face and stuff like that. So they do a really good job in this short space of time I think they were consciously climbing, we don't want the bits to be the same all the time. They've done a really good job to make sure that there's different stages. And on top of that, there's what I mean by stages is no one climb feels the same. There might be the odd part that you're like, oh, I've seen this blue rope before, but it doesn't feel the same. And there's a different route, there's a different element, there's different biomes that you come across. To add to that as well, there's different biomes that you get to. So this one's first low base in the mountain, and then as it gets higher, there's new areas that are unlocked. I won't go into them because there's not much game here, so I'm trying not to spoil anything if possible. So that's probably some of the good. I'm gonna say again, it just felt real. It just felt really smooth. So at the start here, it was felt really good, and my hands were actually hurting. So after playing it for a good length of time, my hands were just I was I got off, I was ow, or I went for a break, or I was ow, what's going on? And I realised it's because I'm tensing up when she does, kind of thing, when I think I'm not going to quite make it or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's really immersive. And the other good thing is there's in this, and I don't know if we'll get to that point in time. You might see him, you might not. But there's a little side character in this who's cute AF. It's this little blue guy who helps you on the way. He gives you little hints, and he can tell you which way to go, and he comes into play further in the game. I won't go into detail, but he's really cute. He's really cool, and it just adds that cuteness to this already cute, vibey, laid back, chill game. And that is another good point. It is a super palette cleanser. I've not played anything else like it before. Not in this much detail with the climbing. Like I said about the different, you have to use the left, the right, the ropes. You can see here on the screen now the stamina's now started to come into play, so you can lose stamina. If you jump, you'll lose some. You've got less, you've got more risk of falling. It's really, really well thought out, and it had to be, because considering the whole basis is about you climbing, it had to be based on that. Now, this bit's really early that you can see, but as you progress, there is a couple of points that give it some negatives. Let's go negative Nellies, shall we? Because one of them was, well, the game crashed at one point. It actually crashed, and I don't know if that's just early launch issues or if it was my unorthodox approach to climbing the mountain. But basically, I got into this weird crevice part, and it just lagged out. She fell through the mountain, and it just crashed, and it took me back to the home screen, and I had to start again. I was quite far high up as well, so I had to go back to the save point, which I was annoyed about. And that's where these little clips that I've just put in there, where it says B, that's where these really come into play, because if you forget to put that in, you're going to lose all your progress. And here's another demonstration of another annoyance I found. It's literally on screen now. This timed up lovely. The jumping upwards. I don't know if it was how I was doing it or it's the game, but when you went to do it, she kicked back off the wall sometimes, And it's like, well, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to jump up and then away from the wall? I want to stay as close to the wall as possible. And I feel like it was either the controls being a bit off, which they were in some places, though it's very smooth, the climbing and stuff. There is some control aspects that are a bit off. I'm like, this bit didn't feel as good as I thought it'd be. Like when it gets like tougher and stuff, not just because it's harder, it just, the cracks start to show in a bit in the controls, it's like the feel of the controls and stuff. But and honestly, apart from that though, I can't really say any of negatives about it. The story wise, there's not much story. It doesn't really give much away. The only one thing I would say is, for collectibles, there's a lot of reading in such a short space of game. If you want to like really understand like the history of it, there's some things that you collect, and it's basically conversations between two people. This ain't a spoiler because you see it in the first 5 minutes, but there's a lot of text, like a lot. It's not just like a couple of lines kind of thing. It's like paragraphs in some cases, and it's like, no, I think I'm just going to skip that. But I feel like if I did read it, probably would have added to the experience. But not everyone wants to, so you have to find that balance. Like here, look, like this one's not too bad. Sometimes there's like 4 pages worth, and it's just like, no thanks. I don't want to read that much. I don't mind reading bits to learn about the lore, but that's just way too much. Going to some tips then, shall we? I did mention one briefly about the putting in your anchors in the wall so you don't fall all the way down. So just if you jump in this game, and I recommend you do, because it's only 4.5 hours. I think it took me about 4.5, 5 hours, I think. So I recommend jumping in because you can do it really quickly and you can see what I'm talking about. But these, make sure you press B to get the anchors in the wall. Get them anchors in that wall. Because if you fall down, you could get so fuming if you've made some good progress. Another tip was look at possible routes before you go. So, see a bit here. I'm novice at this point, but similar to any kind of like real life climbing, like try and analyze a route that you're thinking of going, if you can, before you get going. I'd recommend that before you get, because your stamina and stuff. So you really have to plan your route. So there's something there about the wall running and stuff. It's really cool. So it's not just basic climbing. Another tip. So what have I said? Anchors. Get them anchors in. Plan your route so you don't run out of stamina or get really reduced stamina. Explore each corner, and I do regret not reading everything. Explore all the corner, because it's a short game. You can do that. I didn't realise how short it would be. Otherwise, I would have probably spent a bit more time looking around. I think that's it for tips as well. To be honest, it will take a couple of climbs early on that you've seen here to get used to it, but then you start getting in a flow of releasing L, pressing R, releasing L, or whatever. I think it's on PC as well, so I don't know how you'd do it on there. I guess it'd be like W and Q or something. The A and D or something. Yeah, that's it for tips. And one final thing I want to say is it's a beautiful game. It's very well art style wise. I mean, it's very well like designed, drawn. It looks spot on. Like I can't knock the looks. There's certain points when you get higher up that just looks stunning, and for like this kind of game, such a short game as well, you usually get compromised on that kind of thing, but here it doesn't. It really doesn't. There's loads of cool animations. There's loads of cool parts of the world that just really, really bring it together. But so overall, I would probably give this Though that crash, mid-game crash, annoyed me a bit, I got over it pretty quick. There was some times where she wouldn't do what I wanted her to do, but I think that might have just been me, to be honest, so I can't be too critical. I'd probably give this a 8.5 to 9. Probably an 8.5 because of some of the bugs, but if I was to play this again and they were gone, then it'd be a 9. And I hate knocking stuff down because of bugs, but there were some real laggy moments, and when it's meant to be like a smooth climbing game, it's like you don't need it. It wasn't just that one crash as well, so 8.5, yeah, especially because it's the perfect length for this type of game. You don't really want much more because the things start to get a bit samey, don't they? Really, because at the end of the day, it is just climbing climbing walls and stuff. So I wonder if they'll do sequels or whatever. That's not a spoiler, by the way. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10. I'd give it. Would highly recommend, especially because it's on Game Pass. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so that's on there now. If you want to play it, if you're watching this video, and it's really cool. To summarise, I give it a good fat thumbs up as a definite play. It's not AAA. It's not going to knock your socks off, but like I said, it's nothing like I've played before. So I thought it was a really nice vibe. And yeah, what more can I say about it? Because it's so short, it's going to be a short video. Short game, short video. Whatever. I guess we're done then. Cool. Thanks, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful. Do you agree with me as well? Do you agree? Anyone played it or jumped into it or even finished it at this point? Do you agree with what I'm saying about some of the issues of it? Do you agree that it's an awesome game? Did you have fun? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, ain't it? So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Are you going to check it out? Are you not going to check it out? Not for you. I didn't think it would be, but it turned out absolutely loved it. And yeah, so let me know, guys. If you hit that like and subscribe button as well, I'd really appreciate it. I'll keep trying to bring some more videos like this for you, some reviews and gameplays. And yeah, check out the rest of my channel while you're there, why don't you? Thanks very much, really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.